we will the cam will be here. Is is there any requirement for the video recording?
The children will just be standing here, so
okay.
There's not any movement really. So.
Okay. How about the background? Is there anything?
We don't need a. We can.
Is there anything we'll show in the background? No. Oh, so just focus on the students.
Yeah, please.
All right. Okay.
Right, okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm really sorry about the delay here. We're going to start this match right now. As you know, this is going to be filmed and sent to the adjudicator. So make sure you're speaking very clearly into the microphone, and I wish both teams the best of luck. So I'll let our chairperson now introduce the match. So thank you very much, guys.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to the second round of the HKSSDS debating competition. This debate is between PLKCKY School and Punyu Association Wayang School. The affirmative team from PLKCKY School is first speaker Karina Kong, second speaker Anson Mack, and third speaker Cheyenne Sung. Their team advisor is Mr. Jonathan Massell. The negative team from Punyu Association Wayang School is first speaker Xavier Chan, second speaker Justin Liu, and finally third speaker Arthur Chan. Their team advisor is Mr. Allen. Unfortunately, our dear adjudicator cannot come today. Each speaker may speak for 3 minutes. There will be a warning bell at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and 2 bells at 3 minutes to indicate that the speaker's time has expired. A bell will be rung 3 times if a speaker exceeds the maximum time by more than 15 seconds, at which point the speaker must stop. The motion for this debate is that playing computer games as part of free time activities is good for primary school age children. I now introduce the first affirmative speaker, Karina Kong. They will begin the debate.
Good afternoon, honorable adjudicators, opponents, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are debating on a motion of playing computer games as part of free time activities is good for primary school age children. First, I will talk about how essential is it to know how to use a computer in the future. My second speaker will talk about the negatives of stopping children from using computers, whilst my third speaker will conclude our argument and highlight today's clashes. Let me define a motion. In computer games, we include computers, tablets, smartphones, smartwatches, etc. Now to my point. Our team line is that computer games are good and pose no threat to primary school age children under good parental supervision. I am confident that our opponent today will talk about how the screen of electronic devices will harm the children's eyesight, and how bloody, violent computer games will psychotically harm children, which these are valid points. However, with parental guidance, these can easily be avoided and children can then simply benefit from this essential hobby. We believe that under parental supervision, children will have a time limit of playing computer games, and they can only play child-friendly games, not like the type of bloody, murdering, violent games I am sure our opponent will talk about, which we also feel will not be suitable. Let's think of it like this. Computer games are like books. Yes, children can read too much and read adult books that are not suitable for them. They can even read in bad light until 4 in the morning and causing severe eye strain. All of these things are damaging for children. However, under parental supervision, books can be good for children as part of a healthy lifestyle, developing their understanding of the world, just like computer games that do the same. This is also the same as comics, TVs, and even things like chocolate. As part of free time activities, video games are good under parental supervision, and furthermore, prepare children for the future, where computers will be everywhere, from clothing to virtual reality headsets. Our opponent today will try to scaremonger, just like the people whom have done in the past with TV. Video games can also be very good for children as part of a healthy lifestyle under parental supervision. Interaction is important for us primary-age children, especially when we grow up. Computers, phones, and tablets are only getting more advanced, and they are essential to everyday living. Games teach children how to use technology much faster than school IT lessons. Not being experienced with technology is a disadvantage for the future, causing a barrier between you and other people. So again, we believe that computer games are good and pose no threat to primary school age children under good parental supervision. Thank you.
The speaker took 3 minutes and 6 seconds. No points will be deducted. Now, the first negative speaker, Xavier Chan, will begin their case.
There are a lot of challenges to being a young person today, but computer games don't help us to fix any one of them. Free time is important because that's where we build our habits for the future. Good afternoon. My name is Xavier, and our team line is Computer Games Take Us Nowhere. We stand for traditional use of free time, such as reading, building social bonds, and exercise. But first, some rebuttals. The affirmative team tried to tell us that computer games don't teach you how to use. No, computer games help you to teach you to use technology, but actually they don't. They just teach you how to play computer games. They also try to tell us that parents can get kids to put down games if given notice, guidelines, or rules. But this creates the grounds of confrontation. Respect is won by good parenting. Just because you create confrontation doesn't mean you will get respect. They also try to say that playing computer games won't give you any health issues. But according to WebMD, the price of sitting too much says a growing body, the long periods of physical inactivity raise your risk of developing heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and obesity. In January 2010, British experts linked to prolonged periods of sitting to a greater likelihood of disease. And that same month, Australian researchers report that each hour spent watching TV is linked to an 18% increase of the risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. They also try to tell us that parents at school can help to choose the right computer games. But there's no possible way that parents can constantly monitor at all times, so children may go down the wrong road. Parents should give children a book, and there will be peace in the house. As the first negative speaker, I will explain how computer games waste our time, and my second speaker, Justin, will explain how they are not feasible and the skills don't transfer to real life. Let's consider how it uses up our time. To fully understand this notion, we must realize that saying yes to computer games means no to how we traditionally use time. We did a survey at our school. 100% of the boys said that they wanted to be able to play computer games at recess. But when asked if they would give up table tennis or another sport to play computer games, a resounding 90% said no. So, when computer games are compared to an alternative, time is valued properly. The misuse of time causes much harm. The WHO says 42 million children were obese in 2013. They say sedentary activities like computer games that leads to heart disease when you become an adult. So Computer games take us nowhere and this motion must fall. Thank you.
The first speaker of the negative team took 3 minutes and 21 seconds. Points will be deducted. I now introduce the second affirmative speaker, Anson Mack, to continue their case.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Our opponents have told you computer games take us nowhere. However, that is not the case. The truth is, computer games can be educational, and everyone plays them. What they said was the past. Moreover, they also said that playing computer games, parents cannot always supervise them. However, our team line is, computer games are good and pose no threat to students under good parents' guidance. My first speaker has told you how computer games can affect people's future. And I will tell you about how computer games are beneficial to our lives, whilst my third speaker will conclude today's debate. According to WebMD, Cynthia Whitehead, a lawyer in California, plays Bejeweled, a stress-lowering game, every night after work. She says her mind is taking over and running with it, and she seems like exercising a muscle that isn't used enough. Also, experts from RaceMarket.com say that computer games can help a kid's creativity. When they play games like Minecraft, they use limited materials to build. Furthermore, from Harvard University Medical School, a researcher, Cheryl Olson, says that parent-approved video or computer games played in moderation can help develop a kid's brain socially, physically, and educationally. Once again, our team line is computer games are good and pose no threat to students under good parental guidance. On the other hand, kids cannot learn social skills like their peers under parents' restrictions. If you don't let them play computer games, you're not letting them interact in the computer like the other kids. Our opponents have also said that people will feel isolated after playing computer games, but that is the past. People who don't play computers nowadays don't often interact with others because most people play computer games nowadays. Most importantly, people spend less than 40 hours a year using computers at school. So why not let kids learn using a computer at home through computer games? Knowing how to use computers are important to the future, according to my first speaker. Last but not least, Brown University says that people learn faster and adapt to different situations and environments easily after playing computer games. Do you want a kid growing up to have difficulties in learning and communication? Surely not. This is why computer games are beneficial. From the above reasons, this motion must and will stand. Thank you.
The second affirmative speaker took 2 minutes and 59 seconds. No points will be deducted. The second negative speaker, Justin Liu, will now continue their case.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Justin Liu, and our team line is Computer Games Take Us Nowhere. My first speaker explained how computer games are a bad use of time, and I'm going to explain how computer games are not feasible and the so-called skills from computer games are out of context. But first, some rebuttals. The affirmative team said computer games are social, but if the benefits are so good, why are you treating it like junk food and limiting it? Is that a contradiction? The affirmative team also tried to tell us women use computer games to train reflexes. But a study at Tohoku University in Japan found that computer games only simulate the parts of brain associated with vision and movement, while traditional learning stimulates the parts of the brain for learning, memory, and emotion. The affirmative team also tried to tell us computer games help the brain. But the brain reacts to everything differently. That doesn't mean concentration and playing computer games equals concentrating when reading. Ask an ADHD kid and they will tell you. They can hyper-focus on games, but not reading. Now back to my speech. Even if we take everything at their best, perfect balance of time and activities, perfect parenting, angel kids, we still have to ask, one, if these computer games are an improvement over what we already have, and two, if these skills are transferable. The answers to the above are no and no. Every skill the affirmative team lists, we can acquire from traditional activities such as reading and team sports. So instead of learning perseverance from restarting a FIFA Xbox game, we should actually join a real football team. First, when you lose a game in computer, there is no improvement in the child. The pain in the real game is much more intense. The learning of perseverance is a real experience. And second, there is no transfer of skills into real life because pushing restart buttons on Xbox is not physical, emotional, or social, unlike real life. Yet there are a lot of things that we miss out on when we take the so-called skills out of context. We miss out on exercise, companionship, and teamwork. Now let's consider the affirmative position when speaking to the 1.3 million poor in Hong Kong. The affirmative team would suggest that we take money away from what we traditionally called a good use of time to this new game. And we couldn't disagree more. We say give them a Christmas Carol and not the game Tetris. Shoeless kids in Cameroon play football with a ball that they made out of plastic bags and rubber bands. It is better to let them play with that than to put Call of Duty Black Ops in their hands. Their improvement in reaction time will be negligible. So ladies and gentlemen, computer games take us nowhere. This motion must fall. Thank you.
The second negative speaker took 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Points will be deducted. Now I invite the third speaker of the affirmative team to The third speakers of both teams will have 1 minute to plan their The third speaker of the affirmative team will conclude their case.
Good afternoon, honorable adjudicators, opponents, ladies and gentlemen. I am the concluding speaker from the affirmative team, Cheyenne So. Today, I'm going to highlight some clashes and offer some rebuttals for our opponent's team. Once again, our team line for today is, computer games are good and pose no threat under good parental guidance. As my first speaker has mentioned, playing computer games is preparing for their future, since everyone knows that our future will be technology, and a part of it is computers. My second speaker has shown you that there are a lot of negatives from stopping children using computers. Children will not get any time communicating with their friends online and they will be alone. They shouldn't be restricted from this fun and also educational activity. Now, let me offer some rebuttals for our opponents. Our dear opponents have said that the computer games can help children from being lazy and just not doing anything useful. However, some games are educational. Yes, not all games are educational, but under good parental guidance, parents should be able to choose suitable games for their own children. Also, they have said that computer games take us nowhere. However, we don't believe that. I'm sorry, games can teach you some knowledge such as history, mathematics, languages, and more. Also, computer games will be a part of the future, which everyone should learn them. As my first speaker has mentioned, reading books for too long can also damage eyesight. So I don't understand why our dear opponents are just banning children from playing computer games. Computer computer games are good. However, even chit-chatting in real life should have a limit. We cannot do it forever. Our opponents has nothing of children's future, and they are just telling us of the old world, which soon it will be our future and it will all be computers. If you're supporting for our side, of the affirmative side, you're supporting children prepare for the future, supporting children's freedom and education. But if you're supporting their side, the negative team, you are supporting for letting children to be unprepared for the future. They take all those negative effects for restricting children from computer games to happen. Our opponents has shown you all the wrong information and trying to persuade you to believe the wrong side. Our team has shown you the reality and the future that is going to happen soon. Again, computer games are good and pose no threat to primary school children under good parental guidance. From all above reasons, this motion must and will stand. Thank you.
The third affirmative speaker took 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Now may I ask the third negative speaker to conclude the debate.
Testing.
Good afternoon, my name is Arthur Chan, and our team line is that computer games take us nowhere. Today, I'll speak on the major problems of the affirmative case and why we have won this debate. But first, some rebuttals. The affirmative team said that what is wrong with letting kids choose what they want, and if they choose computer games, we should let them play them. But it is a bad habit in comparison to a good habit, like going for a walk and talk with families and friends. We should encourage good habits and choices to promote longer and fuller lives, while still providing the child a fun way to play. They also said that reading is bad and just makes you sit around like computer games. But but as René Descartes once said, the reading of good books is just like a conversation with the finest minds of the past centuries. They also tried to tell us that children have to learn technology as the future is all technology. But how can they learn technology by tapping into the screen? They should join a real class, a real physics class, a real science class, not just play around on computer games learning nothing, even learning the wrong thing. They also said that computer games are social. Yes, you can communicate in computer games, but you only communicate about how to play the game. Example, in like gun games, you like, oh, change this gun, you can kill people more. That's not good for you. How about a walk in the park and teaching you how to actually, and talking with your friends about actual social things. They also said that computer games have benefits when monitored by parents. But they're saying like, computer games are like wine, good if monitored and measured. Isn't it too soon to give kids wine? Computer games are addicting. Watch kids have tantrums when they are taken away. That is withdrawal from addiction. My first speaker linked computer games to obesity and heart disease. He rightfully says that it is the habits we learn as a child that creates chronic problems. So let's stop the wrong learning now. My second speaker told you that computer games don't add value, and even if children create a skill in the computer world, it isn't transferable to the real world. Having good concentration when playing a particular game won't carry over to concentration when reading or homework. The skills don't translate. And finally, not everyone has it really good, and the benefits of their advice falls apart when held to the fire of poverty. So what do we suggest? Spend your time and money in the right place. If you want to be better at solving problems or following instructions, join the Scouts, or the drama club, or even debate. Do the activity where the skill is needed, and you won't miss out on health and social benefits. This motion must fall because we live in a real world with serious problems to deal with, and computer games are problematic. Adopting it will get us nowhere, and it take our precious time away from us. As Thomas Edison once said, time is really the only capital any human being has, and the only thing he can't afford hold loose. And that's why computer games take us nowhere. Thank you.
The third negative speaker took 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Points will be deducted. Thank you for joining the debate.
Okay, well done both sides. Really well done to both schools here. Obviously the educator is not here to offer any feedback, so what I would invite you guys to do now is to go over and shake hands with both teams, and then we will be hopefully giving you guys some feedback when we send this to the adjudicator later on tonight. So we'll try and get some feedback to you in the next couple of days. But thank you very much for coming here, and thank you for participating.